get the ship into position to start the next phase, which is counter-piracy condition alpha.
Counter-piracy condition alpha is when we load up the ribs and game's on. We're going out.
2 of the 6-man counter-piracy teams board rigid-hulled inflatable boats, or ribs. These lightweight, high-performance boats travel up to about 35 miles per hour and will carry out a carefully orchestrated tactical maneuver.
Secure your lines!
They travel along the side of the Gettysburg, using it as cover until the last minute. Then they speed around the back of the ship and head toward the pirates. One rib takes a cover position, while the other makes what's known as a horseshoe maneuver to assess the danger. Then they make their move.
They say you have permission to approach the suspected pirate vessel. The pirate starts pumping a little bit. You know, your whole team, you can see the excitement in your team's face, you know, because you've been talking about it for weeks.
With 2 teams in the water, a 3rd team waits on the deck of the Gettysburg.
Team 1's got approach on this, Team 2 got cover, so we're going to stay back here and handle any pirates that they might collect.
Our first mission in here, we're riding the ribs right up alongside the skiff. We don't know what's on board. Waiting until we get alongside and actually get on board. You know, that guy could come up from an AK-47, or he could be just a fisherman until you get up there and talk to him. You don't know.
Pull alongside, the translator's right there with us. Tell them to get their hands on their head and, you know, move to the front of their vessel. And immediately they did it.
Keep your hands up!
Search the vessel, search the suspected pirates. There were 6 on board.
The boarding team moves the 6 pirates onto their boats and searches the skiff for evidence. All they turn up are fuel containers, blankets, and an old kitchen knife. The real weapons are at the bottom of the ocean, where the pirates threw them overboard.
The decision was made to go in and apprehend these guys and take them into custody.
Though the suspected pirates have dumped the evidence, the International Coalition's rules of engagement allow the Navy to apprehend anyone they suspect of piracy for further questioning. The suspected pirates will be held until the Navy determines if there is enough evidence to prosecute them.
That's what we do. We do what we do.
Man. Hey, awesome job.
One good one under our belt to show the captain we know what we're doing.
All in all, it was pretty good.
So first mission's out of the way. It's supposed to be a training mission, but ended up being a lot more. Got 6 suspected pirates right off. Good first mission for us. Get that pirate flag up on the side of the ship now.
What you want to do when you're taking your pictures, you want to get anything you can find out from their name, any tribes that they're in, any scars and tattoos they may have. Even though we may not speak the language that they do, we have our translators. Get as much out of them as you can.
But after reporting to Combined Task Force 151 Command, the Gettysburg is told to return the men to their skiff and let them go.
They were questioned, their fingerprints were taken, and pictures were taken so that we could identify them later. However, after the search was conducted, we didn't find any conclusive evidence of piracy, so we would not be able to prosecute them.
Even though the suspected pirates were seen dumping their weapons, the Coalition's standard for prosecution is that the men be caught in the actual act of piracy. But their fingerprints and photos are entered into a database of suspected pirates, so that if they are ever apprehended again, a stronger case can be built.
We will put them back in the skiff and release them. At that point, told them to go back to Somalia.
You have to let those guys go.
Everybody's talking to that. Y'all aren't going to do anything. The DSS team isn't going to do anything out there. Y'all don't do nothing. Y'all just sit around. We were in theater for, what, 10 minutes? And we got a call. We're like, wow. What was that?
They say, oh, there's weapons on board, and and we got the helo says, oh, they're throwing them over, and we get there and there's no evidence for us anymore. They've thrown all the weapons, they've thrown all the RPGs, so how do we make a case based on what they have? They have a hook and a ladder.
Sooner or later, we get something. That or we're just gonna sit out here for the next couple months and go harass some more fishermen.
But only 4 days later, the counter-piracy teams get a second chance to bust some pirates. Patrolling a shipping lane directly between Somalia and Yemen, the Gettysburg receives another panic radio call.
Stereo breakers received a Bridgebrook transmission from motor vessel at GN Champion. They're selling very cars.
GN Champion has one skiff closing, weapons notice on board, closing at high speed, requesting assistance at this time. Passing information on 151.
We receive a call from a ship saying, hey, we're under attack. There's a small skiff trying to get on board a vessel, and they've got guns. They're heavily armed.
Motor vessel Aegean Champion. This is Coalition warship. We are approaching your vessel at best speed.
The Aegean Champion, a Liberian tanker, is under attack approximately 25 miles from the Gettysburg.
We turn burn, get the engines up,
All right, let's come up to 27 knots.
and get going at best speed towards that vessel.
Counter-piracy condition Bravo is the command for boarding teams to man up for another mission. Meanwhile, the ship's Seahawk helicopter races to the scene. At a speed of 150 miles per hour, it will be there in minutes. While the teams prepare to deploy, the Seahawk has just arrived on the scene.
Looks like 5 skinnies on board, lots of fuel tanks.
Pilot Jamie Powers hovers over the suspected pirate skiff and radios intelligence back to the Gettysburg.
You see any ladders or anything grappling hooks? Not right now, I'm not.
We got a small skiff out there, a couple people on board, like 5, 6, somewhere in that range. Sheila's been over top getting some good pictures of it. We're still trying to narrow down what exactly is going on there. Split up your groups, final briefings, safety checks, buddy checks, condition 1 weapons, and we'll load up once the ribs are alongside.
Coming up,
Let's go.
as the Gettysburg pirate hunters rush to save the merchant ship, the pirates set their sights on a new target. The USS Gettysburg has received an emergency distress call. Pirates are in hot pursuit of a nearby Liberian tanker. As the Gettysburg rushes to the scene, its Seahawk helicopter crew bears down on the pirate skiff.
Coming down about 100 feet, jump in, take a closer look, get some eyes on it.
The pirates have broken off the attack and are on the run. And now, they're headed toward a larger skiff.
We saw the 5 individuals get off the skiff onto this larger skiff.
Gettysburg arrives on scene.
Load the boat!
The counter-piracy teams board the ribs. The ribs make their approach and perform the horseshoe maneuver to assess the danger level. At this point, anything can happen.
It's kind of scary. I mean, you never know when somebody could pop over the side and start shooting at you.
As the boarding team approaches the vessel, they're caught off guard by what they see.
Peel back the tarp, and there's 40 some odd people on the boat the size of 12 by 12 dinghy.
It turns out the larger skiff is a refugee boat taking Somalis to Yemen, but the pirate hunters have no idea who's who or which of the 40 might be armed and ready to fight.
They were wearing the same clothes, they had the same skin tone. There was nothing among them that really could stick them out from the refugees. So I had the challenge of determining who were the pirates and who were the refugees. And this mission was especially tough because we didn't have a translator. The first question is, who's the English speaker on board? One guy kind of comes forward. He says, I speak English. So he's the master on board. Just, taking people from Somalia to Yemen, no big deal. We say, hey, we know you have weapons on board. We know there are pirates on board. He starts telling us, well, I'm afraid, these pirates came on board my boat a couple days ago. I'm fearing for my life.
While Team 1 leader Bill Guglielmo tries to sort pirates from refugees on the large skiff, Team 2 member Alex Daggett searches the smaller skiff that the pirates arrived in and takes a near-fatal step.
I step on this hard thing, and I hear kind of like a clink, and my car kind of sank for a second, and I looked down, I picked it up. It's an RPG round. Those are point detonation rounds with no safety. It's just hanging out, rocking like crazy. Wow. You don't get much of more of an adrenaline rush than that.
Back on the refugee skiff, Lieutenant Guglielmo picks up an important clue from the one English speaker.
So we start watching him. I start looking to see who's really answering the questions. It's not him.
The English speaker takes his cues from one man in particular, possibly the head pirate.
We think we know who the head is. Let's cut the head off from the body. Let's get the senior leadership that are on board the suspected pirate boat over to one of our ribs, put him into custody, and then see how the rest of the personnel on board react.
We removed that individual onto our rib. Once we did that, he dined out the other 7 people that were part of his group. When we took the 8th suspected pirate off that vessel, the 31 remained